everyone. So today I'm going to be talking about 4 ways to bounce back from redundancy. So, for many of you who already know my personal story, redundancy is something which is very close to my heart because I was made redundant in 2010 and I was really lucky. I was able to get a job pretty much straight away after I was made redundant. And then I was at risk of being made redundant again a second time, but I left that job before that sort of happened. So redundancy is a very emotional roller coaster. It's a roller coaster of mixed emotions, and I just want to share 4 ways to help you bounce back from that because it can be not only emotional, it can be very draining on you and your work life and everything that's going on around you. So, the first thing I want to really share with you, 4 ways to bounce back, is number one, depending on what the end result is and forgetting what might happen, think about going on a holiday. And this holiday could happen before you are considered and are going on redundancy, or are going through a redundancy process, or if you become redundant, going on a holiday after that and taking some time to really reflect and really think about what is going to change for you and what's going to happen. And the reason I really suggest this one is because after I was made redundant, I got a job pretty much the next week. And in theory, that's great because my bills were being taken care of, everything was great. But emotionally, I was carrying around a lot of the emotional baggage of me having to go through a selection process, worrying about my job, worrying about lots of different things all the time. And our process was for about 2-3 months. Some processes can be longer than that. So the reason why I'm advising a holiday is because you're carrying around a lot of worry with you, and having a holiday is a way to not only revive yourself, but it's a way to really relax and think about, not think about your work, basically, because you're away doing things which are keeping your mind away from the situation, the place, the people, everything. So definitely, first thing I would do is think about booking yourself a holiday. And it doesn't have to be a holiday abroad, it could be a holiday where maybe you go to the countryside, where you just get away from your situation so you can reevaluate things. That's the first thing. The second thing is, again, this relates back to your emotions and relates back to how you're feeling. So, number 2 is keeping a journal and making sure that you are really letting out those emotions. Because I remember when I was going through redundancy, and especially when I wasn't selected, I was crying a lot and I was feeling very vulnerable, and I was feeling a little bit like, okay, so I've been made redundant, but I've got another job, but how come I'm good at this job when, you know, I wasn't good enough for that job? So all these thoughts kept on coming up, all these feelings, right? So it's important that if, this redundancy process is affecting your home life maybe, or you feel that you're really stressed or you're really angry, writing in a journal will help you. Because I remember some of the things that happened when my sort of redundancy process was going on. The office atmosphere was really, I wouldn't say stressful, but it was really quite tense. That's the word I'm looking for, tense. And that can also have an effect on your mood because energetically, we are the 5 people we spend the most time with. So if you're going to work every day and everyone's really tense and everyone's really unhappy, that's going to affect you. So keeping that journal will also help you really think about how you're feeling, but also be like a coping mechanism to get you through the process of redundancy and even after redundancy. So that's the second tip. The third thing is, and this is something which, to be honest with you, I did a little bit of, but I wish I'd done a little bit more of. So that it's in 2 parts. I put this in 2 parts because I think they go together: rediscovery and mindset. And for me, when I went through redundancy, almost a second time, I did rediscover myself. I went on holiday, I started writing a lot, I started up a blog, I was rediscovering what I wanted, I was rediscovering what I didn't want, and that really helped me. And this links to your mindset because your mindset is going to be the biggest tool in helping you revive from your redundancy and helping you cope with it. If your mindset is really negative and you are thinking negative thoughts all the time and you're thinking, oh my god, I'm never going to get another job, oh my god, my career is ruined, then you're going to attract that energy. And if you're not even taking any action and you're just like sitting at home and you don't have any routine, or you don't see friends, or you're not talking to people, that's also going to affect you. But if you're actually going out and about, I mean, I remember going out and about, and one of the things I used to do, and I'm sharing this with you because it really, really helped me because I was writing a lot, is I would walk all the way from Trafalgar Square to Covent Garden to Leicester Square. It's one of my favourite walks, and it takes like 10-15 minutes. And it was something that really, really helped me reconnect with what I really wanted and kept my mindset positive. And I was spending time with friends. And I kind of enjoyed that aftermath period for a bit until I realised, look, I need to take some action. I need to just get my butt into gear and just do something to find a job or to start something. So that's why the mindset is important, because the more positive you are, the more sort of books you're reading, the more rediscovery sort of activities you're doing, the more better you're going to feel about yourself. So number three is quite important. So lastly, with number four, and this sort of links in with number three a little bit, I've already said it a little bit. What are you going to do next? What's next? So redundancy is not the end of the world. It may seem like it at the end of the day, but it's not. In some cases, and I know money doesn't compensate for everything, but if you get paid for the redundancy, or you get, voluntary redundancy, if you get paid something, then that can tie you over for a little bit. If that isn't the case, you need to be getting your, arse into gear sooner rather than later, and be thinking about what's next. What job am I going to have next? What career am I going to have next? Or am I going to start a business? Or am I going to work freelance? The brilliant thing about redundancy, which people don't tell you when you go through it, is that it's a really, really wonderful transition period for you to rediscover something that you actually maybe have always wanted to do, or maybe you fell into a career and you stayed there for many, many years. And because it was a safe option, you didn't go out of your comfort zone. So, with the what next, this is where you could work with a coach or a mentor like myself, or if you already know that you want to, like, I don't know, go back to university and do something, just do it. But it's really, really important with the what next to make sure that you've got a solid plan in place and you work towards it. So, what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to recap over the 4 ways that you can bounce back from redundancy. Number one is to go on holiday to revive and re energize yourself. Number two is to keep a journal, because it's a really emotional time and there's lots of heightened emotions, and it's a way of releasing your energy and how you're feeling. Number three, and it's two sort of words that go together, rediscovery and mindset. So, thinking about how you can rediscover yourself and reconnect, and also your mindset. Your frame of mind is really, really important, because the more positive your frame of mind is, the more better it's going to be with you to cope with redundancy. And lastly, what next? What is going to be your next move? And what are you going to do next? And one thing I just want to just quickly mention as well is that redundancy is kind of like a grieving process. So if you feel that you need at least 3 or 4 months to get over it, and you can afford to do that financially, then do it. If you can't, then the holiday will be your best option in order to do that. Okay? So I really, really hope that this video helps anyone who is going through redundancy at the moment and is feeling, quite frankly, not very great about themselves, because it is a very emotional process and it can really knock people's confidence. And I think people don't realise that it is something that can be revived. It's just really working through it and making sure that you're kind to yourself. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope this video helps. Bye!